Okay, everyone, welcome back to Breslov Efrat here. Chiradal, Will of Hashem. Mamash, another beautiful sunny day today in Israel. Will of Hashem, yeah, unbelievable. Okay, we always learn from the well-being of our chayalim and our ketufim, and Hashem should help them and guide them and please protect them, Hashem. Oy, and bring them all back home and reunite with their families. And let's get on. Okay. All right, we're going to continue our lessons in Mitzvah Hashem in Likutey Halachos. We're in the middle of Hilchos Birchas Hashachar, the morning blessings. We're in Halacha Hey, and we're in the middle of lesson Samach Beis 62. We left off in the middle yesterday. We're up to the words V'azai tzrichin lachzor v'lechazek litein tzedakah harbe lechazek es harotzeh. So we were talking about this idea yesterday, this amazing idea yesterday that we know that we say 3 chapters on Shabbos by Mincha on the Tzidkos Tzedek, where we say 3 chapters. Each one is representing another one of the tzaddikim that left the world at that time of Rav the Ravin. Remember, we had the first one was Yosef sadik, right? Yosef sadik is the first one. The second one is Moshe Rabbeinu, and the third one is David HaMelech. Okay, so we spoke about Yosef sadik. The word Yosef means to add. That means anyone that was that's on the right path and always doing the right thing. Yosef sadik is there teaching him that he has to always keep adding and never stay still. We can't be dormant, right? A Jew always has to be moving. We have to be moving in the upward direction, right? A person can't say, I reached, this is the level I'm happy with, and I'm going to stay here. It doesn't work. You can't be a neutral, right? That's neutral, right? You have to be either in drive or in reverse. Okay? You can't stay in neutral. Doesn't work. Does not work. Okay? So Yosef is telling us that we have to always add, we always have to go forward and add to Kedusha, right? Because you want to take your mundane time, your regular time, and you want to make it lofty. You want to make it eternal, right? How do you do that? You speak, you talk, you do something regarding Hashem. Right? You remember Hashem during the day, you learn Torah, you speak to Hashem, you do mitzvahs, you do ma'asim tovim. That's how you do it. Okay, then we said there's Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu is the second one. That's the guys that have fallen away and had gotten a little bit sullied over the time. Right? They got a little sullied. Okay, but Moshe Rabbeinu was there because Moshe Rabbeinu got sullied. See, people that got sullied by sin. Dirty. People get sullied, dirty. You don't know the word, Sullied. Sullied.
Moshe got sullied?
No, not Moshe. The people that got people got sullied, and Moshe Rabbeinu was there, standing. He stands between Shmad and Rotzen, right? We said that Shmad is the gematria is 344, Moshe is 345, Rotzen is 346, right? So Moshe is right in the middle, and he's helping up all those people that fell all the way down. How does he do it? He taps into Ratzon, the Metzach HaRatzon, the highest place, and he could take the pigeon out of there and he could take them off. The example we used yesterday was Moshe Rabbeinu when he was a little baby, right? He was a little baby and he was put in the basket, right? He was put in the teva, right? And Moshe Rabbeinu was able to have an effect on Bas Paroi that she had a thought of tshuva, right? That was Moshe Rabbeinu's first student, right? First student, right? Yeah. Listen, that was his first student, Bas Para, right? And she actually mothered him, right? Unbelievable, right? Over the years, right? This same lady.
He actually had a big effect on his own family too, as a baby.
Yeah.
Fills up the room with light.
Yeah, sure, yeah. And anyway, okay, so that's Moshe Rabbeinu, and then we said that every day we have to be mechazik the rotzen. That's what we have to do every day. We have to constantly be mechazik the rotzen. Why? Because the Baal Dava, the Yetzer Hara, is constantly coming up with new ways to entice us. Right? He's coming up with new tactics every single day, and we have to constantly be mechazik our rotzen to Hashem. Because if we're mechazik our rotzen to Hashem, we can be protected each day from the eitzes of the Yetzer Hara. Okay.
Mechazik.
Strengthen.
Okay.
Mechazik. To strengthen. We strengthen ourselves. Okay. Sorry about that. I'll translate. Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay, I'll let you know if I don't know.
Okay, so here we go. V'azai tzrichin lachzor v'leschazek tom litein tzedakah harbe lechazek es harotzen. So you have to always give tzedakah, right? Tzedakah, we said, is a great way to align your rotzen with the rotzen Hashem, right? Because if you take your money that you earned, right, and you give it to somebody else, because it's a mitzvah to do, right? You're doing it because it's a mitzvah, so that's an amazing way to align your rotzen with the rotzen Hashem. So give tzedakah. Ayin sham. Okay. V'zeh bechinas David shehu ikar bechinas Mashiach. Shehu ben David. We know that that Mashiach is going to come from the lineage of David HaMelech, correct? Shahaya loy it was to David milchama gedoyle memetzach hanachash. David HaMelech was constantly fighting with the metzach hanachash. He was constantly fighting with the other side. He was constantly battling with it. Bechinas Golus k'may shekasu sham ata ikra tikva al yodai shu loichem memetzach hanachash sheloi yarpe es emunas harotzen. Right, David HaMelech, Moshe Rabbeinu was there to those that fell down. David HaMelech is actually now fighting with the Metzach HaNachash. We said that's the opposite side. Right, we have the Metzach HaRotzon, which is the side of holiness. That's the highest place you can go on that side. But we have the other side, which is the Metzach HaNachash. Okay, so David HaMelech, his mom is battling with the Metzach HaNachash constantly. That he shouldn't weaken for us the Emunah in our Emunas HaRotzon of Hashem. Shemisham kol hanefilos chas v'shalom. That's where all the nefilas come from. Whenever we let the nachash in, right? We let that snake in. We let the snake in. The snake is going to come and attack. Right? That's what snakes do. I'm always amazed that people have a pet snake. To me, it's always amazing. Yeah, you know that, right? People like to have snakes.
Yeah. Keep your enemies close.
Yeah, well, okay.
Maybe to remind them,
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Baruch Hashem. Rak lechazek is kol echad ve'echad eich shehu b'chol yoyim b'yoyim sheyechazek mechodesh b'chol yoyim b'retzoynes chazok l'Hashem yitbarach. No matter where you are, no matter what's going on. And David HaMelech understood that better than anybody else, right? With all his troubles, trials and tribulations he had in his life, he mamash understood that better than anybody else. From when he was a little child, right? His family didn't accept him. Could you imagine the trauma he had as a child, right? But it didn't bother him, right? Today, kids, right? They have to go to those programs, right? Yossi? Oh, could you imagine what David HaMelech would have to do?
Yeah, he had some real trauma.
He had some real trauma, but did it seem to bother him?
You're not even from our dad.
Did it seem to bother him? Did it seem to bother him?
At the end, I imagine he was lonely. He was out there in the fields by himself.
But he was a shepherd, right? So he was doing like David, like Moshe Rabbeinu did, right?
Yeah, I know what I would have said.
Yeah.
It's called carpet therapy.
Yeah. Carpet therapy.
Yeah, because you get
throw it under the carpet. Is that what it is, Yossi? You throw it under the carpet. Throw it all under the rug. Yeah, okay. I feel him over, all of Masha over. No matter what happens, you take care of it. Again, you connect to Hashem. No matter what's going on, you can get your pigeon, right? You can get the salvation. Just recognize Hashem. And David HaMelech, no matter what it was, he was always singing to Hashem. He didn't care what was going on. Everything was great. Everything was great because he realized that it's all coming from Hashem. Because David HaMelech understood that every moment he had was borrowed time. Right? He really understood that. David HaMelech understood that he had no life at all. It was all borrowed time. So he appreciated every single moment. But can I tell you the secret? We're also living on borrowed time. We should appreciate every moment that we have. Right? Every single moment we have. Okay. It's all through the koyach tzedakah. Mi she'ein biyodai litein tzedakah karoi kvar gilu Rabbeinu Zal. So let's say you don't have money, right? A person wants to give tzedakah, right? He wants to give tzedakah, but he barely has enough to feed his own family. So what should he do? Here he was saying you have to give tzedakah. So you have a guy reading this, right? He's learning this, and he said, I know I don't have any money. What am I supposed to do? How am I going to get my ratzon? I get my ratzon by giving tzedakah. So what am I going to do? So look what it says. Mekanin kinas Hashem tzedakah nechshav kitzedakah. If you mekanin kinas Hashem, that's considered a tzedakah. If you take on the kin of Hashem, how would we say that? If you take on, you become a zealot, right? Well, okay. In other words, if you take on Hashem's fight in the world, let's say, you go to battle for Hashem in the world, right? You try to set things right. You try to do things correctly, right? The best we can, right? There's limited what we can do. But if you want to do that, if you want to do something, shemetaknin hachorenaf, that's be mesakin the chorenaf, right? So many ways you can help people, right? A person can help somebody with things and so on, right? If he sees someone's doing something wrong to somebody, take the side of the other guy, right? He sees someone's wronging somebody, right? So take the side of the right guy. Do something. Try to do something. Go out of your maybe go out of your comfort zone. Go out of your comfort zone to battle for Hashem. All right. And Bechinas Pinchas, and who was the example of that? Was Pinchas, right? Pinchas, right? Pinchas was there. Moshe Rabbeinu was there. Aaron was there. There was this big problem going on, right? With Zimri, right? Cosby, right? Zimri ben Salu and Cosby, right? There was a big magefa going on. And Moshe Rabbeinu forgot what to do. He didn't know he didn't know what to do. He didn't know. Moshe Rabbeinu, it slipped his mind. That's what Chazal say that. I'm not going to say anything like that. That's what Chazal say. But Pinchas took the roimach in his hand. He took that spear, and he did what he had to do. Now, mind you, Zimri was the nasi of Shimon, right? He was the nasi. So here you got this guy, Pinchas, takes a spear, and he's going to go, he wants to kill, and he kills the Nasi. He had no idea he was going to live. Right? He had no idea he was going to live. Right? We know that in last week's parsha, in Kisisa, right? Chur got killed. Right? When they came, right? He went up, he was trying to fight against Hashem, right? They killed him. And Aaron thought he was next, right? He didn't know, right? Right. So then as Pinchas does it, so you have to understand, this was an amazing thing that he did, correct? He took Hashem's anger, his wrath. He calmed HaKadosh Baruch Hu's wrath with what was going on. He was having relations in public, in front of. Amazing, right? The lowest of the low. Now, v'hu oisek b'zel l'chazek es harotzen. David HaMelech was always working. So that was one example of how you can do kinna, right? You can be mekaneh kinnas Hashem, right? If you don't have money, right? If you're saying that I don't have any money, so how can I do that? You can connect to the Ratzon Hashem by battling for Hashem. Go do something for Hashem, right? Protect Hashem's name any way you can, in any situation that you can. Okay, now David HaMelech, who Isaac Bazel Chazek Asarotzen Bechol Pam Betikunim Nifloim. David HaMelech was always working to make these big, beautiful tikkunim all the time. That's what David HaMelech was working on. Ad Shemeya Rotzen HaKodesh Bechol Echad Eich Shehu. And David HaMelech was able to talk to every single person, no matter where they were, no matter who they were, whatever they felt to. David HaMelech was able to relate to them. He was able to talk to them. Ad shemaleyu b'chol pam meisfeikas. He was able to take them out of suffix. We said that Amalek is the same gematria as suffix, right? Amalek tries to place suffix, doubt. Always place doubt in what you're doing. Maybe I'm not doing the right thing. Maybe I should be doing this. Maybe they're wrong. Maybe those guys are right. Suffering, right? That's their main technique.
Can I ask you?
Yeah, sure.
On Kina, is there a chiluk there, or rather a diuk that, like, it's something that's nashur to din, like it's not something that you're already incumbent upon you to do. You're not already mechuyev to do it, but it's like you're going
with the mashur to do, right?
Yeah.
You're going over and above.
Yeah, because otherwise it's not a tzedakah, it's your
Right, you're doing something over and above. You could just stay quiet. You don't have to. You don't have to do. Pinchas didn't have to do this, right? Did Pinchas have to do that? He didn't have to do that, right? It wasn't. He was a young. He didn't have. But he went over and above what he was. Yeah, he was. Yeah, he went lefim mishur sadin. Excellent. Okay. שגם הוא בחינה שמעלה משמד לרוצן והוא גמר ויגמר. And that's David HaMelech. David HaMelech is also working again. He's reinforcing what Moshe Rabbeinu is doing, right? David HaMelech is reinforcing, also taking from Shmad, even those that fell even lower, right? Because again, don't forget, David HaMelech was involved. The Chazal tell us that David HaMelech did his Maisa, right? He did that Maisa, right? He did that. He had his relay, right? But he did that in order to teach tshuva in the Yachid, correct? Last week's parsha we had the with the Egel Azov, right? And Hashem forgave us. So we learn that if we do tshuva as a whole people, then Hashem will forgive us if we all made a mistake. How do we know if a Yachid does something wrong? How do we know if an individual does something wrong, then Hashem, David HaMelech, he was able to do, and he was able to get forgiven. But now look what it says here. Al Kain David b'gematria dai. We learned this the other time. David HaMelech is the same gematria as dai. Dai, enough. It's enough. Stop. Dai. V'bechina shatkai. Right? We know that the world, HaKadosh Baruch Hu was set the world in motion. Right? The world was evolving. And then Hashem said to the world, die, stop. This is it. It's done. We're done. So that's hence where the name Shatkai came from. Okay? V'chinas ve'al Shatkai yitein lochem rachamim ve'yishlach es achichem acher. So who said these words? Yaakov Avinu said these words, right? Yaakov Avinu said these words when he was sending the brothers down back to get Shimon, because Shimon was held in jail, right? So he was sending down the brothers down. So Yaakov Avinu said these words: "V'alshat kayitein lochem rachamim v'yishlach es achichem acha." Right? Hashem, Yaakov Avinu was saying, enough of the nonsense going on with this guy down in Mitzrayim. He's making us crazy. Yaakov Avinu said enough. Shemirames al keitza geula hazois. Right? She'olav. Okay, Ne'amar. Ma shehischanin Yaakov Avinu aleinu ha'omer le'ilomai dai yomer le'tzaraseinu dai. Yaakov Avinu was saying, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you said to the world, dai, it was enough. Stop. So now I'm asking you, in the same way you said shatkai, dai, to the world, say dai le'tzaraseinu, to our suffering, our pain, say dai, it's enough, stop it, and move on. Let's move on with the Geula now. Right? Hashem should do that today for us, right? Wow. B'schus Yaakov Avinu, right? David HaMelech is gematria of Dai, right? Dai. David, right? David, Dalet, Vav, Dalet, right? Dalet is 4, Vav is 6, and 4 is 14, right? Dai is 14. V'zeh b'chlal u'b'frat. B'chlal is Yisrael sheyomer Dai. L'tzaraseinu ki kvar moshach aleinu hashibud va'orach aleinu agolos ma'od ma'od. We're all crying out to listen. We're in this gullus now for many thousands of years already. Hashem, come on, it's enough. Die. Shebavadei soif kol soif yoimer die l'tzaraseinu v'yamari l'goleinu gula soilam. Of course, in the end, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will certainly say, die. Right? We just hope he does it a little sooner than later, correct? That's what we daven to Hashem, right? You should do it a little sooner than later, to say, "Dai l'tzaraseinu," enough of our suffering, and to speed and to make and bring the geula speedily. Yomaycha Kosov, Lo Yosef Ligala. Say, right, when Mashiach comes, when we know when Mashiach comes through David HaMelech, so we know there's not going to be any more gullus after that. Right? Because we know the Gemara says that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to shech the Yetzer Hara, correct? That malach is going to be slaughtered, right? Amazing. The question is always, does anyone know why Hashem is going to slaughter the malach? If Hashem made the malach to do his job, so why is he going to get slaughtered?
He's done.
No, he's
His
done
job is over.
because he's overzealous in his job.
Oh.
He's overzealous in his job, right?
Yes,
He
he
goes
is.
lefi meshura sadin in his job.
He also has a Yitzhak.
No. He goes. He's overzealous in what he's doing. He doesn't have to work so hard, but he works really, really hard. He works really, really hard. And then, like we said, the example is like this: a person is an executioner, right? And he has to put someone to death. So does he do that? Does he do that with a big joy? I'm going to get this guy. I'm going to hang this guy. Or does the guy feel terrible? Like, I have to take this guy's life, right? Right. So in other words, the Yetzer Hara is doing his job, but does he have to enjoy it so much? That's the problem. He enjoys his job too much.
On the other side, he's executioner. He's doing his job.
No, so if he does his,
The
he's
right
doing.
job that he's doing.
No, but he's doing the job that he has to do. He's doing his job.
Maybe cruelty. He shouldn't be cruel. But
Exactly.
he
So,
shouldn't be
but the
acting
Yetzer Hara is being cruel.
like-
He's being cruel.
Yeah.
Shouldn't he enjoy his work? We all should enjoy our work, no?
Okay. So you want to be the attorney for the Yetzer Hara? That's it. Okay.
No. I am not going to defend
You're
the
going to be
criminal.
Melamed Schus on the. You don't have to be Melamed Schus on the Yetzer Hara.
He could be...
You don't have to find. You don't have to do that. Okay. Avechein befratius eitzel kol echad ubefrat oisan sheschilu kitzas ukfa hela oisam atzadik emes mimokim shehela oisam. And it's for each and every one of us that we learn the teachings of the tzaddikim. The tzaddikim lift us up and they take us to good places, right? They take us to good places. Kasher yadei kol echad b'nafshay. As everyone knows by themselves, yet like Chazal say, yadei inish b'nafshay. Everyone knows themselves. They know the things that we accomplished, Baruch Hashem, right? We know the things that we did, right? Ba'afal pichein aleim b'chol pam b'chol yom. But every day we have our problems. We have to always we have to strengthen our belief, right? Our belief in the Zekenim de Kedusha. Who is Zekenim de Kedusha? We said those people that are the older, that are constantly doing something new, taking on and seeing Hashem something new in their life. Right? Every day we find ourselves in a new situation, right? Something is going on different every day in our life. Find Hashem in that situation every day. Find Hashem. Where are you here today? Hashem, where are you? Right? They say, Hashem, where are you? Where are you today, Hashem? I want to find you today. That's connecting to the Ratzon.
We know he's there.
I understand, but find him.
What do you mean by
See
finding?
Hashem in the situation you find yourself in. See Hashem in that situation. Every day. Whatever's going on. Whatever's going on during the
So
day.
if someone's sad, they should see Hashem is sad that you're in that situation with you?
Why is the person sad?
I don't know. I'm just an example.
If the person's sad, so then he has to think, why am I sad? I'm supposed to be besimcha. I'm supposed to be happy.
Right.
So why am I sad? Right? Why is the person sad? So you have to, where are you, Hashem? Why am I sad?
So, well, I'm blessing you with sadness for a particular reason, so you can rise up.
So you found Hashem. So you found Hashem in that situation, right?
Yeah.
No matter what it is, you can always find Hashem in that situation. And then you can, what, you want to say something, Sasha? No? Okay. Zekeinu de
We know he's
Kedusha.
always in that situation. He's always
Sha'oiskim
there.
l'chazek es harotzon u'mamshichen aleinu b'chinas David Mashiach sheyoyim edai l'tzoris hanefesh shekol echad shel kol echad b'protius ki kates sham l'chayshech. Ki kates sham l'chayshech. He places an end to the darkness. And again, we're in Hilchas Birchas HaShachar, like we make the bracha, right? The first bracha that we make, right? Right? The darkness. To know that Hashem is there in the darkness. Right? Yariv Right? HaKadosh Baruch Hu will always forgive us. The main thing is to be mechazik ourselves with the koyach at tzadikim. Kulam kluyam mikol hatikunim. Right? In all the tikkunim, rak shekol echad befrati yisu oisik b'tikun zeh. We're all working on this tikkun to add to the rotzen through Moshe Rabbeinu, that's always taking us Mishmad LeRotzen, David HaMelech, that's taking us from the Metzach HaNachash back to the Rotzen. No matter what situation you find yourself in, you can connect yourself to one of these three tzaddikim to push forward, to soldier on. Okay? Any questions on that? No? Okay, wow.
Just say when you said why are you sad?
Yeah.
You're sad because you have forgotten that Hashem is there.
That's good. Okay.
That's why you're sad. You forgot about God for a minute and you got sad.
Oh, that's a good thing. See that?
That's how.
Maybe you don't know why you're sad. I mean, you're sad, and you know that God is involved in making you sad. However, that doesn't necessarily change your state for some reason.
You're choosing to be sad.
Yeah.
No. You choose to be sad. You can choose to be happy. You can choose to be sad.
He's not
Right.
pushing us to be sad.
Right? We always have to be besimcha, no matter what's going on in our lives.
But does that terrence almost preclude like a healthy sadness? Like to be dancing at a shiva house isn't like necessarily an appropriate thing.
Now you don't dance at a shiva, but even the oval has to have some level of happiness in it too. You can't just be totally broken. There's never. You always have to have some level of simcha, no matter what's going on. Right? Even on the day of Tisha B'Av, right? It's a sad day. Right? I know I have hope. Oh, the afternoon's coming. Well, I'm going to put on my talis and tefillin. I can think about that. I can be happy about that. You understand? I could do something. You can always have some kind of simcha. Right? The guys in the oval, I could say Yiskada Shmei Rabbah. Right? Wow, Hashem gave me this opportunity. Right? There's things that a person can use, techniques he can use to constantly bring up the simcha. So let's see if we can get this out. Nimsa. Sheshleishes tzadikim ha'elu hein bechinas Yosef, Moshe, and David. Okay, so now we got that, right? The three tzadikim we're talking about is Yosef, Moshe, and David. We got that now, right? We understand that, right? Yosef is telling you to always add. To the guy that's on the right path, he has to constantly add. Moshe is the guy that fell down. He helps him to go from Shmad LeRotzen. David HaMelech is there to take the guy from Metzach HaNachash to back to the Metzach. No matter what situation he's in, he's here to help. We can connect to one of the tzaddikim. And these tzaddikim, shenistalku b'Ravin deravin. They all left the world at that special time on Shabbos by Mincha, right? That time that's known as Ravin deravin. Bechinas Eis Rotzen. That is the Eis Rotzen. How do you remember this all the time? By Shabbos, by Mincha, you say, Vanis filosi l'cha Hashem eis ratzon. So whenever you say you're davening Mincha, right, on Shabbos, you say eis ratzon. Oh, this is the eis ratzon. Oh, I remember the lesson. Right? You can remember the lesson. You can remember the Rav and tzaddikim, and how I can get out of my everything through the eis ratzon. Okay? Heim oisim b'chinas shloisha tikkunim. They're working on making these three different kind of tikkunim that we learned about. Right, the tikkun of Yosef HaTzadik, that he's trying to take us from, he's trying to teach us that we have to constantly add to our kedusha. We can't stay dormant. And Moshe Rabbeinu takes us mishmad l'rotzen, no matter where we fell. And David HaMelech, even if a person feels that he got the short end of the stick in his life, right? He feels he got the short end of the stick, because David HaMelech certainly got the short end of the stick, right? He certainly did. But he still pushed on. He still pushed on, and he was still singing and davening to Hashem. So all of those people in the world that feel that they got the short end of the stick, they can connect to David HaMelech really, really well. Because no matter what their situation is, it's not as bad as David HaMelech. Right? He had a real bad situation. But he was still able to soldier on, so anyone can soldier on as well. Like we said, that the Yosef is there to help those that didn't fall yet, that they shouldn't fall, and they can keep on going higher and higher. Or we learned from the Baal Shem Tov, right? The Baal Shem Tov said, right? You're going to find other gods. What is that? That's going to Shmad. Right? So if I fell to Shmad, right? The teaching from the Baal Shem. If I went to that place, I can connect to Moshe Rabbeinu. He goes Meishmad L'Rotzen, right? Rak Yischazku Tamid B'Rotzen Chazak L'Hashem Yisbarach. Always be mechazek your rotzen. Always be mechazek your will, your desire to connect to the desire of Hashem, the light of Hashem. All right? Bechinas Yosef. Hasheni hu bechinas Moshe shemeisif oid la'alei oisam shekvar noflu lemokim shenoflu la'alei sam misham, that to lift them up from that place, right? Vashlishi hu bechinas David shu ika bechinas Mashiach b'Yosef. David HaMelech is the main point of Mashiach, right? We said that really Mashiach is going to be inclusive of Yosef, Moshe, and David, of course, the neshama. But the main thing is Mashiach ben David, right? It's Mashiach ben David. B'Yosef Mashiach ben David. V'hikuhu ligmar hagula. He is the one that's going to finally end and bring a final end to this geula, to bring the geula. Breslov Efrat. Dainu shegam oisim shekvar hele mishmad l'rotzen shetzrichin lechazkam shelo yiplu oid. Right, those people that already were lifted up, so that they shouldn't fall back again. Right, so many people. They come, they find, they go to it, they hear a nice lesson, they hear something, they get lifted up, and then the next thing you know, they fell back down. And then they feel, wait, what happened? What was all of that? Was that real? Was it not real? Of course it was real. But we have to understand that we have the aliyahs and the aridas, right? Again, like we said, if a person was lifted up, and then he was attached all those years to the Yetzer Hara, right? He was attached all those years. He's not going to let the guy go that fast. Right? The Yetzer Hara says, "Hey, you're mine. You're a member in my camp. You can't go to the other camp. You're in this. You're here. You can't get out of here." And he's going to constantly try. But again, if the person is going to be mechazik and he understands that he's going to fall down, and he has to be mechazik himself again to lift himself up, so then that's a beautiful thing. Right? You teach all these guys, they go to the Shabbaton, right? They go to the Shabbaton, right? These guys, and they live, they get high. And then the next thing you know, they fall down, they maybe felt worse than they were before. They have to teach them this lesson. Right? You're up high now. You're gonna go down, but don't worry. You have to remember how great that was and aspire to get more of that greatness. You understand? Hashem shows us something, right? And we have to aspire to that greatness. It's connected to Pesach, right? The first night, Hashem shows us the ha'ara, right? The emunah. We get that beautiful Hashem is doilik. He brings us that to show us this. Oh, I want that. So now I can go through the whole sphere to get to the 50th gate of Shavuos, right? The Shara Nun, to get to the highest place, to the Shara Nun on Shavuos, because I already saw. I got a preview. Right, so maybe that's a good idea. We have to teach all the guys that come to when they go to a Shabbaton, guys that are fried, teach them that you see how beautiful this is. You're going to go back home. The situation's going to be whatever it's going to be. You're going to fall back down, but just remember, you can reconnect to this. Reconnect. Okay. Whatever's going to happen, it doesn't matter. Reconnect. You can always reconnect to the Ratzon Hashem. Okay, Shal Yedei Zeh Yigmar Hageula B'Yoyim Edar L'Tzaraseinu B'Meheira V'Yameinu Amen. See what the Rabbi wrote? He wrote, right? We say Amen, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu should say die for our goals. Unbelievable. Zeh B'chinas Ma Shekosa B'Svar She'ikar Hamtokas Hadinim L'Hapech Mitzora L'Ritzei. Tzora and Ritzei is the same words, right? Tzora. Move the letters around, right? Move the letters around. Isn't that nice? Isn't that beautiful? Take the tzara and make it rotzen. Make the tzara into rotzen. Take your sadness and make it happy. Be happy. Connect to the light of Hashem. Right? Yeah. Okay. Hainu kinal ki ikra tikon hu al yedei bechinas ritzei bechinas rotzen elyon. The main tikkun comes from that place of rotzen elyon. Right? We understand that. Rotzen elyon. What's rotzen elyon? That's the metzach. Let's review for one moment. Okay. We learned the thing from the Idvar Rabbah, from the Zayah. that there's is metzach ve'is metzach, right? There's a metzach and a metzach. So we learned that what the metzach, there's a metzach ha'elyon, the metzach which is the metzach ha'rotzon, and there's the metzach ha'tachton, right? There's a metzach higher one and the lower one. The higher one is the one that we want to connect to. That's where all pidyon comes from. The lower one is known as the zeran pit, right? That's where you have the 24 courthouses. That's where you have all the judges that are angry about what's going on in the world. Correct? Right? So we always want to connect to the metzach harotzon. How do we do that? We say the Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad, right? 25 letters brings us up there. We say the Echad, right? The Echad, right? When we say Echad is one, Echad is one. Hashem, the Aleph is one. The Ches of Echad is 8. Why? There are 7 firmaments on high and 1 world down here, up and down. All the up as high as it goes and as low as it goes, right? And then we say Dalit is of the Echad. The Dalit is the 4 directions. Hashem is everywhere. When I recognize that Hashem is everywhere in the world, in every situation, that anything that ever transpired in my life or anything in the world, Hashem is there and Hashem is behind it. It's hard, right, Sasha? Yeah. It's hard, yeah.
And we've got these 3 tzaddikim always.
No. So that's what we're getting to, right? So the tzaddikim are the ones that are connect us back to this Ratzon all the time, right? So if a person is living, if he lived his life and he's a good guy and he's on the right program and he just has his little ups and downs, but he's a good guy and he's on the right program, he connects to Yosef, right? Yosef teaches him because Yosef didn't stumble, right? Yosef never stumbled, right? Yosef never stumbled, right? Yosef was able to overcome, he was able to come his challenges, right? So that he connects it. And then we had Moshe Rabbeinu, right? Moshe Rabbeinu had all the challenges in his life. Moshe Rabbeinu, right? He had to live over there. He had to run. He grew up in Paro's house, in the place of all the Avodah Zarah, in the place of all the znus and everything. That's where he grew up. Could you imagine?
No, where did you get the education?
I don't know. It's amazing, right?
You said that he was the first teacher of his Talmud was the Talmud.
That was before he was in the house of Paro.
Yeah.
But then he came down. But he still no. He had such a light. You know, it says that when he was born, he filled the whole room with the light. Everyone knew there's something special about Moshe Rabbeinu. There was something, right? There was the Keren Or. He had some kind of a special light, right? So Moshe Rabbeinu was able to overcome that challenge, right, and become who he was. And because it says really that Moshe Rabbeinu was born, Nassim writes this in a couple of places, that Moshe Rabbeinu was actually born with every negative midah. He was born with every negative midah, and he overcame every single one of his negative tendencies. Right? He had negative tendencies. He overcame them, and that's what made him Moshe Rabbeinu. It wasn't what? He was born Mahul too. Yeah. He was born with a bris. He was already. He was. Yeah.
I think Moshe used to walk around going to low fare.
He what?
He used to walk around saying low fare.
Yeah.
Kodesh Baruch Hu was a low fare.
Yeah. Okay, so that's Moshe Rabbeinu, and Moshe Rabbeinu is going meishmad l'rotzen. So no matter where the person fell, Moshe Rabbeinu was there. And then those guys that thought that they never were able to start, that they didn't fall, but they were never even able to start, that's David HaMelech, right? All the guys that thought that they couldn't even start, like David HaMelech had all his trouble starting in life, right? He had all his things. They said that he was maybe Rus wasn't a Giyar, they didn't know what it was, and maybe he was illegitimate. All this stuff with him, right? All these things, right? And he was a redhead, right? David HaMelech was a redhead, right? And he had a carpet, right? You said, right? Is that what you said, Yossi?
I said there's plenty of therapy to be done.
He had a carpet, right? They try to push everything under the rug, right? That's David HaMelech, right?
His brothers were in the same boat.
They went.
They thought that he wasn't really Jewish or whatever, so something was rude. His brothers also came from it.
I understand, but they were considered the chashuvim, right? When Shmuel HaNavi came there, so Yishai didn't even think about bringing David HaMelech, right? Even his father didn't even think about bringing him, right? It was amazing. Right. You read that story? You know the story? Yeah. The story where Shmuel HaNavi came, Hashem told Shmuel to go to Yishai, because one of the boys there is going to be the new king. So Yishai was so happy. He had all his sons. He brought the first one, the great one. No, it's not him. The next one. I think he had 7 sons, right? I think there was 7. He brought them all. No, it's not these. It's not them. Yishai said, "Are you sure?" Yeah, I'm sure. These are not the ones. These are not. Don't you have any other children? He's thinking, yeah, maybe he's my, I don't even know. There's a guy, David, over there. Well, bring him. Yeah, he's the guy. It's amazing. And he anointed him right then and there.
The runt of the litter.
Right? They anointed him right then and there. So David HaMelech is there to help anyone that didn't even think that they can start. Right? They didn't even think that they can start. David HaMelech brings them from their shmad back to the Ratzon. So he's always connected to 3 tzaddikim. Right? To either Yosef, it helps you add. Moshe Rabbeinu, you were a good guy and you fell all the way down. Connect to Moshe Rabbeinu. He'll pull you out of the shmad, bring you back to the Ratzon. And if you think you can't even get started, connect to David HaMelech. He's always there. David HaMelech will bring you and show you that. Look, see me? Who is worse than me? My father didn't even recognize me. Amazing, right? If you think about the story. But look, he still became David HaMelech. He became the Mashiach, and he's the one that's going to take. And his name is the name of die. That the same way Hashem said die to the world, that the world should stop. And Yaakov Avinu made the reference to his brothers. He made that same reference about the Shatkai, to say die l'tzaraseinu. HaKadosh Baruch Hu should say die l'tzaraseinu. Now bring the Mashiach Tzidkenu, and we should all be with the building of Bayis Shlishi on Har HaBayis, on the Temple Mount, and the removal of all of the evil from the world. Everyone have a wonderful day. Kol Tuv.